Appreciate you for having me, man.
Absolutely. Hey, so the this podcast is streaming to 650,000 followers on different networks and stuff. But
Mm.
I just want to introduce anybody that hasn't met you yet. This is Amere Dozier, and he just published, or he just signed a publishing deal on his 22nd birthday, which was 10 days ago. And you just published your fifth book, right?
Yes, sir.
Man, that's awesome. That's a you've published one more book than I have already, and you got a whole lot more years, or I got a whole lot of years on you. So
Yeah, man. It's something. This
congratulations.
is what I do, though. This is like what I want to do for a while. You do a lot of different stuff.
Well, man, congratulations again. So if you guys haven't read it yet, his book is titled Counterfeit, the Dre Owens Story. And tell me a little bit about your book, if you would.
It's basically about a kid who moved from a certain city to another due to a house fire, and he has to just living with family, with his cousin and his auntie, and finds himself in a situation once he finds out his cousin owed someone some money. They make a bad decision and try to gamble their way out of it, but they end up in some more trouble. So that's basically what it's about. I think it teaches people, just to not gamble, try to get out of it a better way. It teaches a lot of different things. You got to actually pick it up and read it, but it was made to connect with the urban community.
That's awesome. And is it based on a true story, or?
It's just a lot of parts in it is based on true stories. Some of it is made up, like for example, him, the main character, moving from one place to another because of a fire. That happened to me before too. So
Wow.
little stuff like that is things that, connect to real life. And then there's other things that I've just seen before or heard of happen. And then it's some that's made up.
Okay, that's cool. And then, hey, if you guys have any questions, also the people that are watching, if you drop a chat or drop a comment down below, we can turn that on and let the live stream be seen. See your comment being seen in the live stream, and so you can ask them some questions if you'd like, and we'll I just kind of go through and ask you what you got going on there too. So, when did you publish your first book, or when did you start writing your first book?
Okay, so this is how that went down. I was playing football at first in college, and the scholarship got like cut, so I had to find a way to pay for it. And the way to pay for it was writing a book. NCAA didn't like, you can't play sports and write at the same time, so I had to just write at that time. So I wasn't playing football anymore, and I published my first book in 2018. And I had been writing my whole life, but my first book didn't come out until 2018, and I wrote it once my scholarship got cut and I needed to pay for college.
And that's awesome. Hey, and we just had a let me see. I'm trying to read this name here. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but somebody just commented, "Hello, sir. How are you?" So they're asking how you're doing.
Not good.
Cool. Hey, yeah, man, it's good to have you as a guest on the show here. Let me transition that live chat over so people can actually see what the comments are. And so you started writing. I mean, you started publishing your first book just a few years ago here. And how did you do that as a self-published book, or did you?
Yeah, a lot of my work was self-published in the beginning because I feel like I wanted to learn how it worked and I wanted to have full control. And the only way to do that is to self-publish it. So all of that was self-published. My first actual publishing deal didn't come until this fifth book.
I got you. That's awesome. Again, congratulations and happy birthday late here. We had
Yeah.
a similar story with the as far as you got a scholarship dropped, and I had when I was going to school or going to college here,
Hmm.
I got we're getting real close to graduation, and
Uh,
one of the college deans called me in the office, or the management there, and said, "Hey, so there hasn't been a payment made on your student loans for however long," and
yeah,
I
it
would like
sounds like them to me.
I owed like $20,000, but I had been my dad was I guess I'd been writing him a check and sending it
Yeah.
home, and he was supposed to be, or, I was sending him money. I was working 3 jobs plus going to school, just working my guts out, and then sending him a check, and I guess he was just cashing the check and not paying the school, and so
Yeah.
just
That's funny. That
straight up
sounds like
was.
them though. They always coming talking about, you owe them something. Colleges.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, So, and are all of your books similar stories, or what kind of topics do you typically
Okay,
cover?
so I have one of them. I have a two-book series. That didn't come until like my second book, I think it was. Yeah, my second book. So those are the only two that actually have like similar connections, similar characters, and things like that in it. Other than that, they're all different. They just have like they're the same type of stories as far as them being crime stories or urban stories,
Okay.
things like that. Only way they really connect.
And what kind of a do you have a goal behind your books, like what you're trying to accomplish by writing them and sharing that with the public?
Yeah, man, I'm trying to like I want to be able to inspire like people in the urban community, first off to read more, and second to create content because I feel like, people who create content, those are the people who control the masses. Those are the people who people are listening to and watching. So I feel like, people in the urban community, you want to do that. You should want to have to say so in life. So that's one thing I want to do is inspire. And another thing is I want to inform. I want to inform people who are not from the urban community what's going on and why it's going on, why people do the things they do, why certain things go down. And if they read it and they see from somebody's perspective that's living there, then they got a better understanding.
Okay, that's great, and I love that you've got a purpose behind it too.
Yeah,
There's authors that have a purpose trying to help their audience understand something or help the community typically have a lot better results than somebody who just writes because they need to make some
definitely,
money writing.
definitely. And I see it all the time because I do like book signings and stuff. And I see people come up to me and they talk to me about that stuff all the time. And they're like, man, you really connected with me right here, or I really feel it right here. And I did another interview recently. Somebody asked me, because you know how I said people who create content control the message. I said that. They said, well, if that's the case, why do you write about violence or crime and stuff like that? Because wouldn't that put a negative impact on the community? And I had to explain to them that, people want to read what they can connect to. So, people in the urban community, they want to read what they can relate to, and if they can relate to that, then they're more interested. And for the people who want to be informed on it, they can come in and read it as well.
Cool, I love that. Yeah, and it's entertaining also. If there's
Definitely,
if you're writing something exciting there, but like you
definitely.
said, if you're trying to influence and uplift people in the urban community, and you're writing an old west cowboy story, nobody's going to read that.
Not going,
None of your
yeah.
potential audience is going to read that, huh? Or your target audience, I guess. Cool, that's awesome. And then, where else are you? If you don't mind, if asking, where else are you promoting or publishing this book? I mean, promoting or advertising this book right now.
Yeah, I use a lot of social media. I use like a lot of local things. Like I've done like some of the bus benches and stuff like that. So I do like just things like that for the most part. I do like a lot of Amazon advertising. I pay, to have online advertising and stuff like that. Other than that, that's really it. There's nothing else really. But besides word of mouth, and doing press and interviews and stuff like that.
Okay, that's awesome. And then you mentioned making, you wrote that book and was able to actually work on paying for your college, replacing your college scholarship.
Definitely.
Um, you're probably a whole lot better at monetizing the book sales than I am. When I
Yeah.
did I've had three of my books ranked as bestsellers, and I have lost money on every single book. Dumping just crazy money into promoting and advertising and trying to reach community and stuff. I love people, and it's still the same type of thing. I'm trying to help the community, trying to help people, you know, promote. I mean, trying to help people succeed. And
Yeah.
so for me,
Yeah.
it's like if I never make any money off the books, that's okay. But we're gonna have to talk after the show and see. You've probably got some tips for me to help
Definitely.
make some money off the books instead of be losing money on all my books.
See, the thing is, like, I didn't jump in the game like completely by myself. Like, I was a self-published author, but like, I had an agent at the time, and she guided me and taught me a lot of ways to not only to monetize the books, but just to get in the game and be yourself. Like, she was like, if you're gonna get into this, you gotta want to do it really, and you gotta be yourself. So, I listened to her, and she taught me how to do a lot of ways to be able to still be me and still connect with the urban community and be able to sell books.
That's awesome.
And not even just books, just sell myself in general, still be able to set up like signings and speaking engagements and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Yeah, and then we got a couple comments too saying So they're in the room, they're watching you, and they said, congratulations on the bestseller. Said a best-selling book is huge. So your congratulations on publishing and making money on your books, That's great, man.
I appreciate it.
And then if we've got people watching right now, out of our audience, there's probably a lot of people that are wanting to publish a book. What kind of advice do you have for them, on getting started or maybe getting through that fear of starting to write stuff down?
Yeah, because people come up to me all the time and ask me, like, I guess the number one question I say people ask me is, how do they start? And I just want to say, just if you're going to start, just do it. Just sit down and do it, and just start somewhere interesting. Where would you want to start off? If you're reading a book, you want to start somewhere that's going to catch your attention. So start off with something that's going to get your energy and get to writing. Another thing is make sure you get everything edited and take your time. Like sometimes people rush. Like I feel like with my first book, my problem was I was rushing because, like I told you, I was trying to pay for college. So I was looking at it more from a monetary benefit because I wanted to pay schooling. But you should just take your time and don't release it till it's ready. So those would probably be the first few. Just be professional, edit it, and just actually start it.
Cool, that's awesome. Hey, I just had a comment. Your mom is watching us as well.
What's going on, Mom?
That's awesome. Let me see. Yeah, we'll see her comments, and I'll. Yeah, that's pretty cool. My mom does the same thing. Our mom's our biggest supporters, huh?
Yeah, man, she definitely supports me heavily.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a blessing to have that. And that's one of the things is I was building my profile too, trying to build that social brand. Nobody knew who I was. Here I am trying to market these books and stuff, and now I've got hundreds of thousands of followers, but nobody on the internet knew me except for maybe the people that I actually knew and connected with on Facebook, 100 followers or something. And, but my mom was the first one. She's still, every time I post a video or a Instagram post, whatever, my mom's always in liking and commenting and sharing them and stuff. And
they're here for, man.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what they're here for. But go ahead.
Oh, you know what? No, it's not your mom. It said it's your. It says I'm his pops. I misunderstood that.
Oh,
so your dad watching you.
Tell him I said it was good.
Well,
He's a big supporter too.
That's awesome, man. Hey, I'm glad glad you guys are supporting him and helping out. I mean, just even that emotional support, like I said, the social media stuff is huge when they're commenting and liking, and this type of thing. It helps drive your view count up on the videos, and hopefully this improves helps you with some book sales as well.
Definitely.
Are you writing any more books right now?
Yeah, right now I'm working on the kids, like a children's picture book, because I feel like that's something that because I haven't written like any children's book really, but I feel like a children's picture book, first off, that's really what made me like writing as a kid. When I would go to school and I would see the people, like the teachers reading, it would be picture books. So that's part of me that made me want to get into this in the first place. I'm working on that, and I've got actual like books. Got like 2 that's actually done, and then I have like 1 that I'm working on. So because after the deal with Austin Macauley, we're definitely planning on either extending the deal or doing another deal. So I gotta have work ready for that.
Man, that's awesome. And so did you? I've done all my books as self-published. I haven't done any of the contracts or anything like that, just because I can keep a higher percentage on the book sales.
I feel that 100%, man.
Did you?
Especially with you, because you got that following already online. So
now I think yours will grow quick though, because you've got a great personality. You're easy to talk to. People like you, and you're just doing the Facebook Live and this kind of thing. I think you get a bunch of people connecting with you. So. And you don't have a Facebook page right yet, just your personal profile, right?
Yeah, nah, I don't. I need to get one. My dad probably watching it right now, and he probably gonna try to get on me about that as soon as we get off.
That's awesome. Well, hey, let me know as soon as you publish that page if you'll send me a message over, and I'll tag that in this video so that people can click through from your interview and actually follow your page.
Gotcha.
Cool, man. Hey. Again, thanks so much for sharing with me. And I just love that you've got a purpose. You're writing with a purpose to inspire and uplift the community and stuff. And that's just I think you're going to go real far with this. This is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you for having me.
All right. Thanks again for being a guest, and I'll send you a link over to the video when we get done here.
All right, cool.
All right. Thanks, brother.